Ready to unlock some serious brain power.
I'm in.
Today, we're doing a deep dive with John Assaraf on rewiring your mindset for success.
From what I remember, this one's full of actionable stuff.
You shared that amazing interview he did with Tom Bilyeu.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Assaraf's story is wild, you know.
From like troubled teen to self-made millionaire.
Really proves how powerful it is to understand your own brain.
Right, totally. And the best part is he actually walks the walk.
He doesn't just, talk about it. He lives it.
Okay, so let's break this down. Assaraf's big thing is progress over perfection.
Right. Not aiming for this unattainable idea of being perfect.
And he says it all starts with the stories we tell ourselves.
Which is so true, right? We can be our own worst critics.
Totally. He's all about identifying those limiting beliefs.
The I'm not good enough tapes we play on repeat in our heads.
Ugh, yes. And then flipping the script to something more empowering.
Love that. What I find super interesting is how he brings real estate and neuroscience together.
Yeah, it's not the most obvious pairing.
Right. But he used those principles to help real estate agents increase sales.
By how much?
Get this, by $100 million.
You're kidding. What was the magic formula?
Yeah.
Killer sales script or something.
That's the thing. It wasn't about tactics like you might expect.
So what was it then?
Assaraf figured out that success wasn't just about skills, but about something deeper.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Go on.
It was about changing those really deep-seated beliefs and habits.
The stuff we don't even realize is holding us back.
Exactly. It's like our minds are computers, sometimes needing a software upgrade.
I like that analogy. So how do we upgrade our software then?
He talks about set points that are like internal thermostats, but for things like income, relationships, even our own self-image.
Okay, so we've all got these preset levels of what we think we deserve. I could see how that would be huge if you could actually change them.
And you can. Assaraf says by understanding these set points and using things like visualization, we can actually reset them for higher achievement.
Wait, hold on. Back up a sec. Emotionalization, what's that?
So it's not just about picturing your goals, but really feeling them, like deep down.
Oh, I get it. So it's about attaching strong emotions to your vision, so your subconscious starts to actually believe it's possible.
Exactly. Aligning your thoughts, feelings, actions, everything towards what you want.
Okay, that's next level. But let's be real, we've all heard about the power of positive thinking. What makes Assaraf's approach different?
He's been there. He talks about getting in trouble as a teen, feeling stuck, even being skeptical himself about mindset at first.
Makes you realize he's not just some guru who's always had it figured out.
Exactly. And he talks about meeting his mentor, Alan Brown. That's when things really shifted for him.
It's amazing how a single encounter can be so pivotal. Did he jump right on board with all this mindset stuff?
Not at all. He was skeptical at first, but decided to try it out, which is where the G.O.Y.A Principle comes in.
G.O.Y. Okay, I gotta know. What's that stand for?
Get off your ass.
I love it. So it's not enough to just think positive. You gotta take action.
Exactly. He talks about how he'd read his goals every day, run his fingers across the paper, really immerse himself in that feeling of achieving them.
Wow, that's so interesting. It's like a full-on sensory experience.
And it worked. He went from a 19-year-old with, honestly, not many prospects to building multi-million-dollar companies.
Talk about a testament to this whole mindset thing. But it couldn't have been all easy, right? I mean, there had to be setbacks along the way.
Of course. And that's where the importance of motivation comes in.
You mean like having a clear why behind your goals?
Yeah. You need that intrinsic motivation, but also the external stuff.
Oh, I see. Like those little rewards along the way to keep you going.
Exactly. That's why he's big on breaking down big goals into smaller, more manageable ones.
It's so easy to get overwhelmed otherwise. I like that he focuses on celebrating the wins along the way, too.
Definitely. And that's actually where his unique tools come in. You know, like the vision board.
Yeah, I've heard of those.
But he also has the accomplishment board and, wait for it, the crap board.
The what board? I've never heard of that one.
Yeah, it's definitely an attention grabber. But these boards, they're all about making those abstract thoughts and feelings real.
Okay, I got to know more about this crap board, though. You don't hear that every day.
Right. It's about facing those, not so fun parts of ourselves, you know? The things we usually try to ignore.
The stuff we sweep under the rug. hoping it'll just disappear on its own.
Exactly. But Assaraf says, bring those hidden challenges out into the open so you can deal with them. He wants people to visually lay it all out, use words, even images to show what's really going on.
Sometimes just acknowledging those things can be huge, right? Like it takes away their power. What did he find when he had his real estate agents do this, by the way?
Well, remember that $100 million sales increase? It wasn't just mindset stuff. It was about behavior, too.
Oh, interesting. How so?
He realized his top earners, those making like $750,000 or more, they had this one habit in common.
Okay, now I'm really curious. What was the secret?
They spent most of their time, like a 75% face-to-face with clients.
Huh. Sounds simple enough, but I guess that's where their focus was.
Exactly. But the lower earners, they were getting caught up in busy work. Admin tasks, things that weren't directly bringing in income.
So it wasn't even about a lack of talent or anything. It was more about how they were using their time.
And when they dug deeper with that crap board, those agents saw they were procrastinating on client meetings because of, fear or self-doubt.
They had those limiting beliefs about their sales abilities holding them back.
Exactly. Once they were aware of it, they could actually start changing.
So the board helped them see those hidden patterns that were tripping them up.
It's like shining a light on those subconscious saboteurs so we can finally kick them out.
That's a great way to put it. And this is where that self-awareness piece comes in, right? Assaraf talks about these inner sizes.
Yeah, those practices to help us become more aware of our thoughts and feelings.
It's like taking our mental and emotional temperature. What's an example of an inner size?
He talks about one called Take Six. Super simple, but powerful.
Okay. I'm intrigued. How does it work?
When you're feeling stressed or overwhelmed, just stop and take 6 deep breaths.
We hear so much about deep breathing, but what's actually happening in our brains?
It calms your nervous system down. You know how when we're stressed, our bodies go into fight or flight mode?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well, our prefrontal cortex, the part of our brain for, thinking clearly, it basically shuts off.
No wonder we make bad decisions when we're stressed.
Exactly. So those 6 deep breaths, they help reset things, bring your prefrontal cortex back online.
Like going from just reacting to actually being able to respond in a thoughtful way.
Exactly. And then Assaraf recommends this thing called AIA.
AIA. What's that stand for?
Awareness, intention, action.
Okay, I like where this is going. Sounds very actionable.
It is. So first, awareness. Just notice what's happening inside you. Thoughts, feelings, body sensations, just observe.
Become an objective observer of our own experience.
Yes. Then you move into intention. Ask yourself, what do I want to create in this moment? What's the outcome I'm after?
So we're not just reacting to our emotions, but choosing a response that actually gets us where we want to be.
Exactly. And that's the action part. What's one tiny step you can take right now to get a little closer to that intention?
I love that he emphasizes taking action. Even if it's something small, it's about making those little steps and proving to ourselves we can actually create change.
And it all comes back to rewiring our brains. Every time we consciously choose a thought, a feeling, an action that lines up with what we want, we're strengthening those pathways.
Literally rewiring ourselves for success. One thought, one feeling, one action at a time.
Exactly. And here's the catch, though. Assaraf talks about how our brains don't always make it easy. They're wired to resist change.
Oh yeah, totally. We get stuck in our comfort zones.
He calls it homeostasis. Our brains crave comfort predictability, even if it means holding on to those old patterns that aren't serving us.
So we're basically fighting our own biology. No wonder it's hard to break out of those ruts sometimes. Yeah.
Right. And he says this resistance often comes down to fear. Fear of failing, fear of the unknown. That feeling of, what if I'm not good enough?
It's like those fears can paralyze us.
But he says by understanding the neuroscience behind fear, we can actually learn to handle it better.
So it's not about being fearless. It's more about being, fear aware.
Exactly. Think of it like a warning light in your car. You wouldn't just ignore it, would you?
I'd like to think I wouldn't.
So with fear, it's about hitting pause, taking those 6 deep breaths, and then getting curious about what's setting it off.
Like what's causing that fear? What are the thoughts or beliefs behind it?
And are they even true? A lot of times when we unpack those stories, we realize they're based on old experiences or limiting beliefs that we don't need to hold on to anymore.
It's like we're carrying around all this baggage from the past.
And Assaraf's approach gives us the tools to unpack it all, see what's inside, and then decide what we want to keep and what we can finally let go of.
I love that. Becoming the curator of our own mental and emotional space.
That's where the real freedom is, in that awareness and choice. Remember, awareness gives you choice, and choice gives you freedom.
So powerful. It's not about being superhuman or never feeling fear or self-doubt again. It's about having a more conscious and empowered relationship with our minds.
Yes. And the more we practice these things, the visualizations, the emotionalization, the exercises, the actions, the more we rewire our brains for success, for fulfillment, for a life that feels true to who we are.
So listeners, if there's one thing to take away from today, it's that you are not stuck. You have the power to change your brain.
Such a powerful message, right?
It really is. It's about recognizing that we are not our thoughts. We are not our feelings. We are the ones in control. We are the architects of our own reality. And by understanding the power of our minds, we can design a life we love.
So tell me, what story will you choose?